Trevor and I are going to take on the markets this morning. I was going to pull up the TradersPost stream here of myself and repost it to myself. There we go. All right, good to go. Okay, so we're taking a look at the market open in 1 minute. Generally speaking, it looks like NQ has bounced off of this what I'll call a support zone. Anchor View app getting rejected from this top area here. And then I'm hoping for a bounce off of this linear trend. So I'm thinking it's pretty bullish this morning, but we'll take an eye on the longer term or once we get to the open here in a second. Gold also seems to be bouncing, but overall in a downtrend. And oil pushed past that resistance area I thought that it might respect. So I'm not sure if there's a trade in oil yet. I'm always looking for, an area where I think it might very clearly reject off of a support and resistance zone on the higher time frames. So let's take a look at NASDAQ right at the open here.
Here we go.
And that is the bell. So solid gap open.
Jeez.
About 0.3%. We've seen a gap this size just recently. That was this guy here, about 0.3% as well. Nice solid bullish activity right from the open candle. This is on the 1 minute chart. I've got a whole lot of noise going on here, so let me try to clean this up just a little bit. We'll take a look at the first few candles before we make any decisions. Most people wait about 15 minutes. I'll sometimes wait about 10. I have an automated strategy here that's also open that waits about 10 minutes before it takes a position. Excuse me. So we're just going to watch this from the open.
Very bullish open.
Yeah, not bad. Bitcoin's on the move as well.
Man.
So interestingly, Bitcoin has tested this resistance area a few times now. I'd be curious to see if we finally break out from here. I know Tom is probably waiting with bated breath for it to break out. Yep, there he is in the comments. Bitcoin breakout, baby, just as predicted. Good to hear, Tom. I hope you're making money on that trade.
Do you typically wait on your own positions, not automated, until later?
On my own positions, yeah. It just really kind of depends. If price action is really jumping out at me, I might take the first trade within the first few minutes. But typically, I want to wait for an opening range to establish, like many people. I'm a big fan of the orb structure, the opening range breakout. It tends to be pretty useful to get a sense of where I think the market might go from that opening range. But I'm also kind of curious how it's going to respond to yesterday's high and low. If there's any kind of news event that correlates to price action, that might push me into a trade sooner. It really just depends. But we've got a couple of different trade types in here. There's two different lines on my chart. These larger dashed lines are actually my scalping strategy. So if I activate any of these lines, this will put me into an NQ position for which I'll ride it for 10 points with a stop loss of 20 points. And then the smaller dashed lines are my 1 MNQ position where I might build a position up to about 5 contracts, depending on where the direction is over a longer period of time. So I kind of combine my approach here with both the scalping strategy and the longer term strategy. It's something I'll hold for maybe 45 minutes, hour and a half, somewhere around there. Hey, Aventura, thanks for joining us, man. Yeah, nice bullish open. 5 minute candle looks really strong. This is the live version of my automated strategy, which only runs on certain prop firms that support automation. So at the moment, I've got it enabled on the futures desk, which supports automation, as well as Tradeify. Tom says we should actually start this stream at your favorite opening time, which is the 6 p.m. open. Is
I love it.
that where your trades are more successful, Tom?
6 p.m. Sunday night. It's
Come
fun.
join us. If we do it at 6 p.m., Tom will actually join us. So that sounds good. We might be able to do that. I have a life to live at some point during the day, but yeah, very bullish open. Anyway, looking at the back test here on this strategy, overall, it's done pretty well over the long period of time, but as of late, it's in a little bit of a drawdown. So if I move it pull it from January 1st of this year and update the report, it's still about the same kind of break-even results. So I'm waiting to see if the performance improves on this strategy, because I've seen it do really, really well in very clear bullish territory like we are in right now. All right, so this is probably that zone where if I'm not seeing a gap close here, I'm going to do something weird, which is to flip the chart upside down so I can see the pattern I like to see for short sells, but I'm going to go long instead. No, Tom, I didn't get to look at your VWAP indicator just yet. Haven't had a chance to review it, but I believe you. I'm sure it bounced right off that 3-month. VWAP is a very powerful indicator. So this is kind of interesting. Just looking at this price action here, I have an indicator I use quite a lot. It was made by Alex Bariglu, who's a fellow CMT in the space, and he won the Dow Jones Award for this indicator, but it's called the MACDV, and it's a volatility normalized MACD indicator. Essentially, the way it works is it's combining ATR and MACD together, and it gives you a range of outcomes for price. And so when price visits the top of a range for where ATR and MACD typically arrive together, it gives you a sense of whether or not you're in an overbought or oversold territory. It's a really great indicator, and I've used it quite a bit on finding overbought and oversold territories. And this is already starting to look a little overbought. So if that's the case, this could be a reversal trade that I'll start to set up, but we'll see. Hopefully that's not just my short bias speaking.
Don't be crazy. Don't do anything crazy now.
Don't do anything crazy. Got to make sure the signal's strong before I jump in. So as I mentioned, the automated strategy waits 10 minutes before it jumps in. So if this candle closes above VWAP, it'll take the third bar, which is kind of buying the high right off the open here. Should we take a look at the Trade Beacon indicator? I think I have that one loaded.
Let's do it.
All right, what's Trade Beacon telling us? The trend bot. Oh, I kind of messed around with the settings. Let me reset these to the defaults.
I mean, since this morning.
Should I listen to your indicator telling me that it's bullish across the board on all time frames?
It was, but now so on the 5-minute it's outside the ATR bands. So
okay, interesting.
So that would be your cue to kind of go, maybe this is where I exit potentially.
Yep. So that's in alignment with where I would say we're a little overbought here as well on the MACDV indicator.
I mean, my things because I only long pretty much is just if you just wait for at least the 5-minute to flip over to green, your chances of being successful are a lot higher.
Right.
Not trying to long, be a hero along some red downtrend.
Okay, interesting. So we hit this bottom on the linear trend on the 2 hour, which I find interesting. It tried to break out during the electronic session. We're breaking out here on this candle right now, right at the open. But we're right up against the other side of this somewhat sideways linear channel. I'm not really a fan of the strength of this trend just yet. So it could pull out in the short term. It could pull back in the short term and then try to retest the long-term trend. That's a lot of green candles. Okay, so just in a second here, it looks like my automated strategy might throw off an entry to go long 2 contracts M and Q. Give it about 16 seconds here. Nope, not just yet. There must be another rule it's looking for. I can't remember what else it was looking for on this, but it looks like everything should be lining up. So we may see a short-term pullback back to VWAP to retest here before I'm ready to go long on everything.
AKA short.
AKA short. I got it.
I followed you long, man.
I'm gonna keep it this way. I already know what I'm trying to do. I think the strategy's there. So let's grab my
It's painful.
wow.
When I trade overnight in pre-market, I will be fine most of the time, but then sometimes I'm like so exhausted from it that I'm end up not trading during the day.
Fair enough.
I'd be like, I'm up $1,000. I can't blow this, and then it's the most clear price action ever, and I'm like,
I don't know. I don't think there's going to be any follow through. Here comes the follow through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I found that when I tell Stanzi, when I talk to him and tell him what I've done, I am worse at cutting positions because I just picture him being like, you said you were up $1,000. Now you're only up 500. And he was like, dude, I don't care. I'm like, I need to just stop. I'll tell you when I have a payout. I don't want to tell you like, hey, I'm up $1,000 today, and then I blow the account later. It's nice having trading buddies, but sometimes it's not.
I feel like I do pretty well in that environment where I have to be accountable in some way. Even doing this live stream keeps me accountable to some degree. Stick with my rules, make sure that there's a clear thesis on what I'm doing. I mean, if you're left alone to just trade, sometimes no one's watching the choices you're making. It's hard to stay accountable. I've always thought about the idea of like having a separate risk manager that just looks at my trades end of day and kind of helps me review them. I even thought about that as like a product feature at TradersPost, where we use AI to actually analyze your trades at the end of the day and see how well those are aligned with your rules. Good Lord. I don't know if I'm going to be able to buy a pullback. This is just moving.
So what's the reasoning? You know, obviously there's no reasoning on anything, but like more tariff stuff, but then inflation is good. The minutes are today. This was just a flag for a couple days.
Well, I mean, on the higher time frames, I think the signal's there, right? This is the longer term linear trend. We were already on an uptrend and we pulled back and tested the support of this long-term trend. And it's still confirming that this is the trend. So this lower red trend line, if we just ignore these short-term pullbacks here, this is very much support right here. So this could be just a very technical move. We'll come back and retest the all-time high here in a bit, which is just crazy. We keep just posting all-time new highs. I love it. Okay, so I just got an alert that we now are officially in the overbought territory. Turn that off. It's definitely way over the line that I typically look for. So if it crosses above 143, that's typically overbought. So I'd be curious how much it pulls back from here. If we do see a little bit of a pullback and a retest of VWAP, that might be a good place to enter. Peter says, I'm honest with myself. Talking to others is only a distraction for me. Well, if all of us had the discipline you do, Peter, we'd be much more successful traders. All-time highs will continue until morale improves. Nice. Okay, there it goes. So my automated strategy just posted the long. Let's take a look at how that's going.
Where is all-time high? Oh, at 101. Damn you.
I don't have a move just yet. This is just... I'm glad the automated strategy took something.
Mm-hmm. Yay, $50. Whoa. Oh, man. This is just like a grip it and rip it. Day one of a PA, just go long and hope for the best.
See how it goes. Hope it keeps going.
I mean, that was the first 2 days of our stream, or the whatever days where it was just uptrend. That was the same kind of thing. Craziness.
All right, I got to do some housekeeping on my side before I'm ready for the next strategy here. What else do you see on your side, Trevor, while I'm getting this set up?
I mean, all-time high for NQ is in 16 points. So I wouldn't be shorting. I don't know. This is like a new nothing zone for me. I wouldn't want a long up here. And I wouldn't necessarily be shorting. Everything's extended. You know, we're outside of ATR on every time frame. Not on the 1 hour though. Oh yeah, we are. The 1 hour is outside of ATR. I mean, on the 1 hour when we're outside of ATR, that's when it's like there's usually some semblance of a snapback. If we were dying right now, I would be thinking about longing. I hate shorting, so I don't know. It's just annoyed.
Yeah, this is a tough zone to short for sure. That said, I'm probably still going to look for the reversal. Pull this one out. Okay, I had taken a moment here to try to disable some strategies on a few accounts here that are already long M and Q, because one of the rules with prop firms is you can't be long and short the same instrument at the same time. It's interesting too. I've talked to a few firms about that problem where you might have a short-term short bias, but a long-term long bias, and you could potentially be long and short at the same time. And it does technically break one of the CFTC rules, but it's not like you're purposefully hedging, right? You just have two different sentiments on two different time frames, and there doesn't seem to be a very clear answer as to whether or not that's permitted.
This is on multiple accounts.
Well, even if you were doing it in the same account, let's say that you were long MNQ and short NQ, which is what I'm probably about to do here.
I thought it had to be the same product though.
Well, it technically is the same product, but it's just
Minis
it's just minis
micros
versus micros, right? So what I'm trying to get clarity on is whether there's an acceptable use case for being long the same instrument and being short for a shorter period of time or a different period of time.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, for the most part, hedging. You're going, oh God, and you just don't want to exit. So you just take the position the opposite way for the majority of people. But either way, it's like,
right.
It's not gaining you any advantage. It's not making your profits higher somehow.
If you hold the hedge at the same time, yeah. But it can improve my profits if I take the short-term short, but hold the long-term long throughout the rest of the session. Then I've gained on both sides, right? I gain on the pullback for the short, and I still hold the long for the rest of the session and still make money on the long.
I feel like a new all-time high is programmed today.
No
in the
question.
Next 3 minutes.
We're right here. Yeah, it's.
I mean, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't you? But then you're like, oh, is it just going to almost get it? And then I'm the one that's holding the bag. I feel like we'll pulse up and then see what happens after that.
So I am up $92 so far on the automated strategy.
Nice.
Good start to the session here. That long is looking good.
Before I left to drop off my son at camp today, I had like heartburn or something, and I was just like, oof. And my wife was like, what happened? Did you blow an account? And I was like, no. It's like, I just have heartburn. And then she was like, can I get in on one of those evals? No, it has to be, can't be in the same address. I was like, why are you doing my voice? Like, is that what I really sound like? That is the truth. You can't be in the same address.
Hey, she's been with you long enough. I'm sure that's exactly.
She knows. We do each other's voices very much so.
That's hilarious. I think even Tom has pointed this out on a show before, where like if you've been a trader long enough, your entire health and mood is contingent on how well you're doing in your accounts.
Yeah, that's probably not a good thing.
Tom will ask like, how have you been? And I'm like, I don't know, my accounts are up right now. Doing pretty good. He's like, no, I meant like, how are you doing? Oh, I don't know. I don't think about that. What do you guys think in the comments here? Are we going to post brand new all-time highs today, or we're going to test this all-time high as resistance?
It will be all-time highs by 10 a.m.
By 10 a.m. I bet there's got to be an event contract for that, right?
There's some data or something.
Event contracts with the CME group. It's been a while since I've actually looked at these. I don't even know where the landing page is for it. No, that's futures. There are some event contracts though where you can actually bet on where the market's going to close by end of day.
Oh, like Kalshi?
Kind of like Kalshi, but it's actually regulated through the CME now.
Oh yeah, I got those emails. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's news today at 2 p.m.
Minutes.
FOMC. Yeah. Otherwise, not really anything all that important today. And then tomorrow we get continuing jobless claims and initial. Yep. It's a great open. Not a lot to do except just nurse this to the top. Points.
$20, yeah.
For the views.
Yeah, I need it today too, but now I'm butt hurt from the previous couple of days.
Well, I hope you're doing well on this one, Aventura. I mean, obviously, this is a great bullish open. So if you've been long since the open, that's fantastic. What happened to our music? Can we do acoustic? Let's try that one. This
is my mood. This is very indicative of my mood right now.
I feel like, you know what I like better, or what
Death
I've been
to reason.
What I've been jamming out to lately is do you guys watch Severance?
Oh, Odessa Severance?
Yes, we should listen to the whole Odessa Severance album. That thing's great.
Thanks for nothing, Aventura. Why didn't you tell us?
Been long since 5:42 a.m. Eastern. Wow, you're doing the Asian session, huh? Or the London session, excuse me.
Yeah, 5:42, and then you longed at 5:42, and then at 7:30 you were break even again, and then we're in and out, and then eventually it came above that.
I see the frustration now. Yep. But yeah, this is great. Nice breakout there. All right, initial signals show that we might have hit the top, but with how bullish it is this morning, I don't know that I'm even going to risk a short here, even for a quick 10 points. It's just far too bullish for that. So if there is any kind of pullback, I'll probably go long instead of go short, but I need to see a decent enough pullback to feel comfortable with it.
It's like every long, you're just like, ugh. You know.
Yeah, if I grab a long, I mean, there's enough points here for me to really feel comfortable with a long on NQ. We'll hold the one on the M and Qs, obviously, but I'm going to try to scalp for at least 10 points here. All right, this downtrend trend from the top is starting to look a little bit stronger. Aventura says he let this thing run from 6:15 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. the next day, completely automated thanks to TradersPost. Appreciate the shout out, my friend. I have no idea what music I chose. This sucks. Let's move on. I think we tried hip hop before and it was pretty good. It's a little disco-y. I'm with you on that.
Playing the stock market, buying the things. Press the button. Order filled.
There needs to be a rap song with that.
Oh, dude, can you imagine?
Order
That would be
filled.
the song, like, that would go so viral if there was some just like
Only traders
order
would get
filled.
Okay, still holding my longs, obviously, on the automated strategy. If we're going to make a move and it breaks out of this little downtrend here, I might try to scalp this for 10 points. It's just so slow.
Here it goes.
Your dance moves got a lot of love there, Trevor.
Did it? 10 a.m. This is it. We're going to pulse up. And all-time high by 50 cents, if that's it.
So that took forever to execute. This is a great example of the delays that can happen on TradingView from time to time.
And okay, all-time high.
I'm not even sure I got executed anywhere. I see the buy signals. They finally went to trade of 8, but there's no actual position here. Okay, so we're having one of those mornings where everybody trades the exact same signal and I didn't get filled into my position. This is the downside with simulated environments, unfortunately. Double check these Apex accounts. So this is obviously a brand new all-time high we just touched. And I'm not sure I was able to participate in any of that move. It should have been a quick scalp. Okay, great. I did. Okay. It happened so fast that it got in and out of the position in an instant. So across
TradersPost.
my slippage was a little off. I should have made $200 on each of those trades, but instead across all of my other accounts, I made $71.90 in that quick move there. So the scalp won, but not nearly as much as I would have hoped. And a big part of that error in the execution occurred because the price that I sent along to Tradeivate for it to establish the take profit and stop loss was offset by my slippage. So it assumed that I got in higher than I actually did. So it set the take profit much closer to my entry, and I only made $71. I mean, I'm not going to complain about a win across 17 accounts, but still. So on my automated strategy, I'm now up 150 in those accounts. New York Fed just published the zero lower bound remains a medium-term risk. I don't know about 0% rates, but I know the FedWatch tool, as we often refer to for upcoming meetings, is showing that the July 30th meeting will be a 93% chance of a pause still. We don't seem to be coming anywhere near cuts until September.
I mean, if interest is going down, it's just, why would they cut it? Why would you cut? Why would I give you candy? You're doing everything I want you to do.
Do you mean if inflation is going down?
Yeah, I mean, if everything is doing what it should be doing, and they're not, and they don't have to lower rates, it's just like, why would you chance it?
Right, right. And I think the argument that Powell made was really around this idea that they can't anticipate the impact that tariffs are going to have on inflation, so they're going to remain positive at the moment. I think it seems like a reasonable argument, but then again, every time an economist has told us what is going to happen with inflation, the opposite happens. So,
yeah, I mean, it's impossible to actually calculate any of this. It's all made up.
It's all made up. It's all
I
imaginary.
mean, it's just like, what are we actually doing? Went up by 0.1%. Woo! Let's go. Just like, what? Are you sure?
Oh, there's that pullback. Long two contracts still. Okay, so this is kind of that original pullback I was expecting to see. If it starts to break down from here, I'm going to want to see how it responds to VWAP down here. I want to see a little bit of a pullback and a test off of VWAP again, and then I can probably take another quick scalp off of that point, and hopefully actually get filled at the price I expect to get filled at.
Oop, there it goes.
Oops. Honestly, I think we might close up shop here in a bit. This would be the point of the day. If it doesn't even want to pull back very far at all and retest, there's not going to be a lot of range, and we just keep pushing and pushing for the rest of the session. We've seen sessions like these before. There's not a lot of back and forth movement. Doesn't help for my scalping strategy. I need some range finding. I need some movement back and forth in order to make some money. But if we don't get there, I just let the automated strategy run for the rest of the session and close out at the end of the day, and we'll see where profit ends up by then. So I think if we continue from here, we might close this session a little early here, or at least the stream.
Making too much money.
Definitely been here before, though, where I get trapped with this signal. It's such a great indicator. I love it. And it's obviously extremely overbought right now. But that feels like a trap. This is definitely a bear trap. If you wanted to try to short some of these reversals and buyers just keep stepping in over and over again, it's a tough spot to try to short. And as we've seen in this market, if it wants to be bullish, it is going to be bullish. I appreciate that, Aventura. We thought that yesterday's office hours session was really good as well. We covered some interesting questions from a TradersPost perspective, some interesting topics out there. We like that format as well. And we seem to be getting a lot more feedback lately from our community because we're sending out messages directly through our intercom channel, and we're getting a lot of questions for the show. So it's helping kind of mix things up a little bit. Sometimes we have to hunt for questions to add to the show, and to give us something to talk about. But we've been getting a lot of great feedback lately, so we are excited about it. We're also going to keep trying to show different ways in which we solve problems on TradersPost in terms of how we actually trade. This live stream here is intended to not only showcase what we're doing every day. I trade the open almost every morning, but how I'm actually using these tools to automate through TradersPost as well. In general, though, always let us know if there's anything else you want us to cover. Interesting. Looks like I might get that buy territory I was hoping for after all.
Okay, I buy here.
Oops. Maybe. Yeah, I think this is definitely my initial thought is that this is just going to be one of those days that just melts up for the rest of the day. So I'm not sure there's a lot of range left or movement where I've got any short-term trades to take. I think in this case, I would just walk away for the rest of the day. Are you seeing anything else? Maybe we can look at gold. Wow, gold's actually moving in a different way.
Gold's going straight up too. Trying to.
It sure is.
What about individual names? Amazon. Is today the day for Amazon? Are we doing the same thing? Google's ripping. Amazon's ripping. Google's just been bouncing around.
Take a look at oil real quick.
Tesla and the gulag. God, it's gotta be so frustrating to be like a Tesla bull. At times. I mean, keep buying the dip and it always comes back.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I feel like oil is going to be one of those that might pull back a little bit before it finds support at 67.75-ish. So not a lot of movement there. I just don't see any other trades from here. We're already long M and Q. I'm going to hold that for the rest of the session. I don't see any other patterns that I would dive into from here. So I think this was a good quick session this morning. Great entry on Bitcoin setting up. Let's take a look. Look at the micro Bitcoin. Feels like an interesting pullback on Bitcoin here, Tom. And I think in general, crypto follows a completely different trend. It doesn't seem to respect gaps either that I've discovered, because the market is completely driven by the 24/7 spot market. So if I just rely on the spot price in order to determine my trades for the futures market, I would say we pulled back to test yesterday's high. So slow moving right now. Liquidity looks so thin on Bitcoin. I'm probably looking at the wrong exchange. Let's look at Coinbase. Not a lot of.
I was looking at an old contract. God damn it.
No, that was just OKX's spot. So the volume was pretty thin there. It's much greater on Coinbase. Bitcoin is full on setting up for a blast off. 8% to come this week, if I had to guess. Tom, we're not trading for a
8%?
week.
What are you talking about?
We are trading for like 3 hours here, bud, and then we gotta close our positions out. Prop firms dictate that we gotta be short term.
Who has time for swings? I need my profits. I need my profits or my death. Immediate.
8% would be crazy though from here.
That would be crazy.
I'm sure that prediction will play out too. I mean, I definitely see the bullish trend here on the higher time frames for Bitcoin, and I do think it could break above this current resistance. So I'm right there with you, Tom. But I need an hour-long or 2-hour-long trade here. I see a little bit of bullish activity here. It's not that we're different, Tom. I'm a big long-term crypto holder. Some of my crypto holdings lasted as long as 2.5 to 3 years, and I've done very well in crypto. But if I'm trading prop firms accounts, I can trade the crypto contracts. I can trade micro Bitcoin and micro Ether, or the Ether and Bitcoin contracts. But I got to close them out before the end of the day, so it keeps me very, very short term. All right, Taking a look at NQ again. Yeah, nothing to do. No trades to take, so we're just going to hold for the rest of the day. I took a look at Bitcoin. Appreciate the heads up on your analysis there, Tom. It looks like gold is trying to break out. I like how it's heading towards the weekly VWAP here. Exactly. Yeah, having to close our positions out before the end of the session really kind of messes up any long-term swing trading approach. You can get right back in again at 6 p.m. And the problem is that even if you open your position at the start of the session, the drawdown could be great enough that you trigger your daily loss limit. So you'd have to keep your positions really, really small throughout each session in order to carry out a swing trade. It's pretty tough to do. Maybe there's something here. I feel like if we can continue to break down and push below VWAP, maybe there's an opportunity to close out positions and maybe go short. But I would not bet against this market right now. These bulls are very bullish. Okay, so the plan is to go ahead and let my automated strategy do its thing. There's only a couple reasons that it would even get out of this position, which is a great position. One is that either the trailing stop is triggered, which I don't anticipate that would be the case, or we reach the close of the day. So this strategy is designed to automatically close the position at the end of the trading session, which is required by the prop firms, obviously. So this is more than likely just going to go ahead and hold for the rest of the session. And maybe it goes a little sideways here against the all-time high. Maybe it posts another all-time high today. I guess we'll see, but it is very bullish and I am not going to bet against this trend. It would be too difficult to do. I don't see any other trades on the short term at the moment. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Anything else you wanted to look at, Trevor?
Nope. Not at all. I'm just sad.
Well, I'm happy Aventura got a win today. That's awesome. Tom's already long crypto in spot. Or Tom, are you trading crypto futures only, right? I'm pretty sure it's crypto futures. Did you participate at all here today, Trevor?
Yeah, I did. I did pre-market. When it's good, like my sweet spot is like 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. I feel like the trends are super clean, and like I wake up and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's less, like, for the most part, less trappy kind of action. It's just kind of like you can look at a price and go, you know what, I think we're probably like going to kind of go up there, and you're kind of getting on the bus stuff. But then it's as it gets to like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., that's when like things start to happen. So then I'm like, all right, I need to not get stuck into the open. But I have 2 accounts. They're like my last ones for the month. I'm just trying to get like $1,000 payout on them. I'm just going to do 3 days of $200 and just be safe. Yep.
Fair enough. That's usually where I try to keep it. 300 is a good profitable day for me. Some days are a little smaller. I'm slowly trying to add size over time, but I prefer to stay on that slow and grow path. When I get too risky and get too heavy with my position size, I blow out accounts almost immediately. So I find that keeping the risk controlled, keeping the position small works out much better for me. Tom asks if we can get Rebecca on one of these. We probably could. Rebecca Trades is fantastic. She's doing a lot of live streams with the futures desk at the moment. We've also talked to Tyler G. He's interested in joining on one of these as well. He brings a ton of energy. So that would be fun to work with him on one of these. We might even be able to get Farming Futures on one of these live streams as well. We'll see if he's down to do it while he's plowing the back nine.
All right, guys. I got plowed. I was getting plowed the last 2 days.
Just by these,
just by the market.
Markets.
By this, tariffs, bam. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Thought
these
we were
last
gonna
couple of
do it.
days were really choppy. This day right here was just unbelievably choppy. Really good for the short-term scalps as I scalp out reversals, but it was still pretty tough to identify. And then yesterday was kind of the same thing. So today's a nice trendy day. That's what I like to see. And I expect it'll still continue to trend to the upside. Still plenty of room to go. All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up from here, get our day started, do some stuff at TradersPost so we can keep making an excellent product for you guys. And we'll see you at tomorrow's open for another episode of Price Action Live. Trevor, thank you very much for joining me. Thanks, guys, in the comments. And we'll see y'all tomorrow.